Death is a complex thing, and in fiction especially, it is a subject that can be analysed from various angles. However, considering this is an anime channel, I will be specifically discussing deaths in anime, and more specifically still, the topic of whether it is right to kill or not. If at any point during the video you are entertained, then please consider liking or subscribing. Thank you, now on to the video. Now, one of the most common traits of a shounen protagonist is their dislike, or in some cases refusal, to kill. It is seen in all manner of series and is something I find very interesting, as I often see a dislike of these characters due to their unwillingness to take another's life. And I think that viewing all these characters as the same, without taking a deeper look into said characters' individual surroundings, is a grave oversight. For example, one of the first anime protagonists that doesn't kill, that comes to my mind at least, is Ed from Fullmetal Alchemist. Not only does he refuse to kill his enemies, but he also refuses to use a Philosopher's Stone, a powerful item that could help him achieve his goal of restoring his body. But because the creation of the stone requires the sacrifice of human lives, he refuses to use one. Ed's whole life was turned upside down by the death of his mother, and when he tried to bring her back to life, he lost not just an arm and a leg, but also left his brother as a mere soul bound to a suit of armour. The death of his mother, and his acts to challenge and reverse such death, were two things that caused Ed so much grief. So of course, a child burdened by two instances involving death would be resistant to the idea of killing. If death had brought so much trauma to him in the past, what kind of trauma would more killing in the future cause? So in this case, it is the part of the character in question that is responsible for their stance on killing, but in some cases it is more about the society or the world the person in question lives in. Midoriya from My Hero Academia was disgusted by Hirokilla Stain, and was strongly against the act of killing. Although most societies discourage murder, the Hero Society of My Hero does so even more so. In this society where children are told to become righteous heroes, it only makes sense that the society would see such criminal acts as killing as villainous and wrong. A hero's job is to stop villains and save people, so Midoriya, a boy who looks up to heroes so much, would never consider doing something so against what heroes stand and fight for. So yes, past events and the society a character lives in can influence a character's views of killing. However, there is one thing that joins my last two examples together. They are both children. We often forget this because many shonen protagonists have superpowers and are in some cases almost gods, but just as many of these protagonists are children. And children are just that, children. They are yet to fully mature and have often seen far less of the world's evils, so it's only natural for a child to frown upon the idea of killing. But as I said, past experiences and society can affect one's stance on killing even in children. So let's turn to one of my favourite protagonists in shonen, Gon, from my favourite series ever, Hunter x Hunter. Gon appears to be an innocent kid that would be disgusted by death like any other. But this really isn't true. He isn't overly bothered by all those who died during the Hunter's exam, and was only really angered by the deaths of those close to him. And in the Chimera Ant arc, Gon kills someone for the first time, and yes, it's an ant, but they are made from people, so they are sentient beings all the same, and are basically people. And when Gon kills this ant, nothing really happens. It's not treated as a big moment, and it's kind of underwhelming, to be honest. Why? Because Gon is a psychotic kid, and because it was key in his development throughout the arc, but that is a topic for another day. So yeah, due to Gon's nature and the more brutal world of Hunter, his willingness to kill is kind of understandable, at least in the world of Hunter x Hunter. However, if we're looking for someone who kills due purely to the world alone, we have Giorno Giovanna from JoJo's. His goal is to overthrow the Mafia, and in doing so he ends up with much blood on his hands. In his mind, the ends justify the means. However, Giorno is overall a pretty nice guy, and seems to only kill to achieve his dream of a better world. So in this case, it's more of his dream is causing him to kill rather than any ideals or past events. He just is doing what he has to do to achieve his goal. Another case of ideals fueling a character's views on killing is Luffy from One Piece. He doesn't kill people, as doing so would stop said person from achieving their dreams. However, even if this is Luffy's reasoning, I wouldn't exactly say Luffy exactly a paragon of pacifism, and he's probably killed a few marines in his day, even if he didn't mean to. And for another example of just humans naturally not wanting to kill people, we have Sato Kazuma from one of my favourite series ever, Konosuba. And although Kazuma is a pretty scummy human being, even he cannot bring himself to kill another person. For example, in a point in the light novel past where the anime has got to, Chasm considers killing a human enemy but concludes he wouldn't be able to do it, saying that he even struggles to kill humanoid monsters. Which, considering he's from the real world, not wanting to kill something that looks human is pretty bloody understandable. So yes, even the true advocate for gender equality who would happily dropkick a woman, Kazuma will not kill another. So what is my point here? Well, before calling a character a simp for not killing or calling them a monster for killing, you should think about why they don't or do kill. Is there a past experience that makes them hate the idea of killing, or do they live in a violent world where killing is survival? These kind of thoughts really intrigue me and help me to more deeply connect to these fictional characters. And considering this video is about stances on killing, I think it's only fair I give my own 2 cents on the issue. Personally, I see life as a very sacred thing, and in 99% of cases I think that the act of killing someone is wrong, and although I may be naive, I do think nearly everyone has the chance to maybe not reform but at least repent for their actions. So I on a surface level do not hate characters that refuse to kill as much as I know many other people do. I think that a character's actions and morals should always be looked at through the series that they are part of and not in a vacuum. A character is just a part of a story at the end of the day, and looking at a character outside of said story is just a bit too limiting, at least for me. However, despite all this, there is one anime character who kills people readily that I really don't think should. Their upbringing past events don't support them becoming a violent killer, and the world they live in is one of peace with nothing horrific in it at all. That's why I can't accept the fact that Berserk from the hit 2016 anime Guts killed Daddy Donovan. It is truly a disgrace. Follow my Twitter at SethTheS and my Instagram at SethTheSin_cosplay. Tell me your opinion on the topic of anime characters refusing to kill in the comment section down below. And with all that said, I've been Seth the Sin, the deadly sin of geek, and I am signing out. Stay safe, everyone.